do I have to go to court if I get an SJPN?
The answer is it depends. So, if you respond to an SJPN and you plead guilty, you admit your fault, and that is an unequivocal plea. So, what that means is it's not one that is yes, I plead guilty, but that the court might then need to go and investigate further. The court can then process everything on paper. If you've pled guilty, they'll take into account credit. The maximum credit you get in the magistrate's court for a plea at the first opportunity is a third off of any potential sentence. So what that means is it will get a reduced fine at the end of it, and that whole process can be done on the papers without you going to court. The other possibility of it getting processed without you going to court is if you don't respond. It might be that you've not seen it or that you ignore it. What happens then is that the court will find you, will consider the proceedings in your absence. Usually that means they will find you guilty, but without the benefit of any of that credit, and sentence you usually to a fine. Sometimes you can get points as well on your license. It's possible as well to get disqualified in certain situations. But they can do all of that without you being present. Obviously, if you've missed it, we'll come back to that in a second. There is a possibility to reopen those proceedings. If you plead not guilty, so you receive the notice and you say, no, I'm not guilty of that, or you say I'm guilty, but, and it's not clear whether or not that is a clear guilty plea. The other situation as well, where you might be called into court, is if there are serious consequences for your guilty plea. For example, I was in court the other day, and there was a gentleman who, by virtue of his guilty plea, would potentially be getting disqualified, but the court, it was a situation in which that wasn't necessary, so the court wanted him to come in and make representations. So in those situations, you will go to court. You can also request a sentence hearing, even if you plead guilty and say, I want to come to court in person and explain to the court myself, why this happened, that there are mitigating circumstances around, why this offence has been committed. By mitigating, I mean factors that make it less serious. So yeah, in essence, it depends. There are some situations in which the entire thing's done on paper and others which you go into court. What's key is that if you want a court hearing, you are entitled to one. Nobody has to go through a paper-based system unless that's something that you want and agree to, or if you've missed it, you can always go back and reopen it.